these Democrats, they make it too easy for this show every single day. Jake Tapper went on Stephen Colbert's show last night. They're all the same to me, but they have the sads over their triplet, Jimmy Kimmel's show, being pulled.
If we do not have the ability to criticize, mock, investigate our leaders, then we are no longer the United States of America. You referenced...
Just hold up here. Jake Tapper, the guy who literally just wrote a book criticizing Biden after not criticizing Joe Biden the entire time he was in office. I mean, the irony here is amazing. Sarah Sellett, founder and president of 917 Strategies, Cliff Maloney, Republican strategist. Sarah, okay, I guess.
Yeah, no idea. I mean, it's one big cry fest. It has been since Stephen Colbert. It probably has been since Trump was first in office after he won in 2016. But honestly, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be surprised. And honestly, Cliff can probably talk more to this than I can, but it's not just because he mocked Trump. They were peddling conspiracy theories, and they deserve to be held accountable.
Right. Well, yeah, not even that. They just lied. They knew it, and they lied anyway. But, you know, this is awesome, Cliff. This is, speaking of pushing back on these types of people, this billboard appeared in Nashville. It said, "Fire the CEO" in the Cracker Barrel, thing. And it turns out Steak and Shake was behind it. They doubled down on X, saying, yes, we are responsible for this billboard. Cracker Barrel's board has failed its shareholders. It has spent over a decade fighting with one of its largest shareholders rather than collaborating for the good of the company. They went on and on. But Cliff, this is like when you have Steak and Shake is a competitor and they're trying to save another company.
Steak and Shake is back. I mean, this shows me the country is back. We are tired of all of the woke nonsense, all of this just garbage. And they're right. Fire the CEO, right? It's not just, oh, we made this change, we're going to shift it back. They're totally out of touch with all of their customers. They're totally out of touch with where the country's going. You got to get rid of those people. You can't just put out a statement and apologize. You have to take swift action. Kudos to Steak and Shake for calling them out.
100%. I mean, taking out a billboard, like, that's kind of max level trolling. I'm here for that. But they got a new customer out of it, me. All right, so I thought this was actually a joke, Sarah. It's not, but according to the UK's Royal Yachting Association, the term "man overboard" is apparently offensive and, quote, as the representation of people identifying as female non-binary has increased within our sport and recreation, it's important that we use language that we use that honors and values them too. And I'm like, who cares when you're drowning? Just throw me the damn life preserver.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not surprised. People would yell at you about their pronouns and gargle their way to the bottom of the ocean instead of being told that they're the other gender. But isn't this something Trump should have addressed with King Charles this week? I mean, if it's that big of a deal that the Royal Yachting Association is saying it, like, come on, national priority.
Right, Cliff, this is like, okay, maybe, just get the news out there that somebody went over the edge of the boat in the ocean.
Look, they're like 15 years behind the U.S. I used to think maybe they were ahead on certain things, but the pendulum of woke, the pendulum of things that normal people just don't care about, but that these elitists try to push on us, that pendulum has to swing back. We saw it here in 2024. It's happening across the country, but poor England, they are really in for a rude awakening. They need to wake up and realize this is not mainstream thought. It's insanity.
Yeah, you got the #1 name in London as Muhammad, and you're worried about what you call somebody who falls over the boat. Got it. All right, so the other thing, Sarah, our kids are actually getting remarkably stupider. And look, I have 3 kids, and I see the bar every single day. The Nation's report card released this month shows that almost half of high school seniors are now testing below basic levels in math and reading, and almost 35% are at or above proficient reading level, while 32% of them had a below basic reading proficiency. How are we going to compete in this?
I'm not the person to speak to this because I dropped out of the marketing major because I was so bad at math.
I dropped out of college too.
I'm probably at the same level, but all politics are math at these days. This isn't surprising at all. America needs to do better. Kids need to be better. Get them away from the iPad. Go touch grass. Go read a book, pick something up, and just try to be a better human, actually contribute to society.
But Cliff, the other thing, and Sarah brings up a great point here, is the screens. We have gotten so much worse. I mean, the COVID was a disaster. That just epically screwed up our entire educational system and ruined kids for generations. However, the screens aren't helping. Like, I send my kids to school to get educated, and in public school, they just put the iPad in front of their face and they're like, run this program, and the teacher does nothing.
Yeah, look, I was a math teacher in a previous life, so I'll comment a little bit. The screens are a major problem, Carl. I mean, it's a major issue. But the other thing that nobody wants to talk about is the government schooling, that entire, just even them taking the chance of doing this exercise, it's failing. And a lot of people don't want to admit that. It's bad for politicians to admit that because they feel like they're going to lose votes. The teachers union is a major, major opponent of ours in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But the schools are not working. We need school choice. We got to fix this up. The test scores are just the beginning. We're not even talking to students about critical thinking or things that other countries do on the daily. Carl, you're right. It's one size fits all. You put it in front of them. We're never going to excel if that's our model in the United States.
I say if anybody doubts that this is actually happening, 40 years ago, the owner's manual of a car used to teach you how to adjust your distributor cap, and now they warn you not to drink the contents of the battery. So we've fallen pretty far. Sarah, Cliff, pleasure. Have a great weekend.